All right. Good evening. Where's my dev? Yeah. Hello, hello. It's been a while. I was frantically trying to get set up there. So excuse me while I do a couple of final things. So in truth, I actually had one lesson left on the performance module. So I still had this to do. The reason I've just skipped ahead to start the testing, I took a pretty long break. I was pretty burnt out. So I took a break, revitalized myself, and now I'm good to start. And I figured instead of trying to like reacclimatize to the performance side of things, I'm just going to start fresh on the React apps, and then maybe later on I'll come back and do that final module and get the certificate. However, tonight I'm going to get set up here. I didn't get a chance to set up before I started tonight, so it should be easy enough. I'm just going to grab the instructions from here. I'm excited about this one because I've done the React testing library. I've done the testing JavaScript course years and years ago. So I'm interested to see what differences there are here. Took a bit of a sore throat. So sorry if I'm a bit inaudible at times. I think that's all I need to do here. Yeah. Cool. While that installs, I'm just going to wish this welcome. For anyone who's just joining for this module, in order to watch the course material, you're going to need to sign up to the course. So I should be able just to block it out. And I'll be back in about 4 minutes. All right, nice. This intro video is watched. What else on there? Hey, man. Opinions on Epic React. It's funny, I was doing the testimonial for this today, actually. And I was trying to think of a smart way of saying what I actually thought about the course. In truth, it doesn't give me all the answers, but what it does give me are reliable patterns and implementation methods. Just general advice and how to approach problems. That's like I'd say that's the strength of it. Having the videos and stuff has been excellent because I'll work on something and it'll just make me think about a problem slightly differently. And then a couple of weeks later, fast forwards, I ended up encountering a similar problem. And I thought, hey, it'd be a great idea if I used that stuff in the workshop. And I've got all the videos, I've got code examples and things that I could reference. And then I could just implement it in its own way. And that was the real strength of it. So I've learned new things, but I don't need to retain that knowledge because I can just refresh myself with all the previous course material. Hopefully that answers your question. All right, so we have, what do we need? Testing React apps. Let's get terminal. I actually want it running here. So I think all the exercises are in here. Exercise. Pardon me. I mean, everything's slightly overhyped, right? I highly recommend. Even before EpicReact.Dev, I sort of like followed along Kinsey's material, Egghead, Frontend, Masters, which is a really reliable source of information. Find it very easy to learn from him. Alright, so I've got the app running. And then test. Filter. Exercise 1. Okay, so watch mode should be running. So I'll get that loaded up. That a little bit darker. All right, we have a simple counter component. Slash counter. Increment. Adds. Decrement. Detracts. Your job is to make sure that it starts out with 0. Okay, so 3 tests. First test starts with 0. Second test, user clicks increment, it goes up by 1. User clicks decrement, it goes down by 1. To do this, you'll need to create a DOM node, add it to the body, and render the component to the DOM node. You look at this, we have our test. Test counter increments and decrements when the buttons are clicked. Create a div to render your component to. Send the div to the document body. I'll take out the comment. Ah, fat fingers. Div. Add that to the body. Use React DOM.render to render the counter to the div. Get a reference to. To render this counter element and container. It's going to be our DOM node. Get a reference to the buttons. If we select from. Inside this DOM node, query all buttons. Call this div. Save ourselves the hassle. Get a reference to the message div. DOM node first child query selector. So one thing that's probably handy to have open, excuse me, is the counter. Let's just move that over here. Get a reference to the message div. Check out the React testing library. Right. Get a reference to the message div. So I want this. We want to expect the message dot text content. First child query selector div. Message. The first child query selector that'll return an array. So normally I would add like a data UI attribute, but it feels overkill. Did I miss something on the docs? I'll read that afterwards. It's all using the testing library. we're expecting. We expect, oh, don't know what's going on with my autocomplete. Gonna expect message. Oh. It's gonna give me all the buttons. Hey. Stick an ID on that. Actually, that would work. It's if you had multiple counters. Of interest, if I get rid of this. See that? I think that's because it's running the final tests. So if I cancel this, an npm test. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Him over here. Oh, and it fails. Cannot read property query selector of null. First child. Where is he again? Dev creates one. This is cheating a little bit, but I'm just curious. Now get all the buttons in an array, destructures it, message. First child, I'll pre-select. So why is first child null? Those are set up the same way. Let's see this. That's weird. Div. He's creating this. And then he's appending the div to the body. Didn't realize you had to pass it as a component. Let's get rid of that for now. So after watching his, he just destructured this. Doing a query selector all on this div is going to give us two buttons. The first one is decrement and the second one is increment. So if we destructure this, we can see decrement will be first and increment will be second. This should now pass. Perfect. Should fail. Should now be one. Not entirely sure what's going on with all this. I think it's because it's the wrong zoom. Yeah, there we go. It's hard to all fit on half a screen. I wonder, I'm going to be spending a lot of time in here. Use the terminal on the right. Cancel this. Oh, I need to actually close the editor. There we go. Well, let's see if that's any better. I think that. Okay, that's a bit better. So 40 lines. And then if we do ppm test. Hi, dog. As now passes, I'm just going to make sure I fail. Cool. Click this button. Oh man, that white screen is really hurt my eyes. Cool. That's going to increment it, and it's going to go to 1. And we're going to click the decrement button, and it should reset back to 0. Copy paste this, but I'm going to try and drill it in. So I'm going to expect message, text content, current count. Cool. Then we're going to clean it up by removing the div from the page. Div.remove. Oh, that green is hideous. I assume we're going to get to this. Just do div.remove. There we go. Although I've just hidden that. That's going to bite me in the ass. I've just hidden that, and I've got no idea how to get the menu back up. Oh well. I'll deal with that later. However, this seems to be working. Which is cool. So I'm just going to save that off. And I'm pretty sure there's an extra credit here. Using click works fine, but what if you wanted to fire an event? New mouse event. Okay, that's what we're trying to do. Try using button.dispatch event. Event is the event object that is going to be dispatched. Target is used to initialize the event.target. Okay. Let's create an event. I assume we want it done in here. Const event was new. This event. Here. Type arg is a DOM string which represents the name of the event. So double click. Mouse event init. Yeah, config. The dictionary also accepts fields from these dictionaries. Let's see what we've got here. Detail, view, source capabilities. Here it is. So It says if you're going to do this, then make sure. What does it say? Make sure your event config sets bubbles to true. So our event, we're creating a new mouse event. We're going to click. We're going to set bubbles to true. Button 0. Okay. An optional short default to 0 describes which buttons pressed during events related to the press or release of a button. So whenever the left mouse button is clicked. And I'm guessing cancelable is here. We have an event. Well, dispatch that event, pardon me, on the element we want to dispatch it on. So, where are we clicking? We have increment here. So instead of clicking it, dispatch an event. It's going to be our click event. That looks promising. So let's check the click event works, because it's going to default to 0 and we're going to click it, and then we would expect it to be 1. So if we set it to 2, this should error. Oh, it should be 1. So that means the dispatch event is working, which is cool. Can't handle all these tabs been opened. Yeah, let's put a 4. The only reason I'm going to put 4 there is because I don't know. Maybe I should have known this. I couldn't find a relevant example to see how to set it up like that. I suppose the comments and stuff were there, and it also says render the counter. I suppose everything is perfectly explained. Let's say it was effective, and the instruction was. Okay. mean, everything is there. I think I'm just tired and didn't read it properly. That's that submitted. Just go. All right, first exercise down. Always good. All right, I'm just going to sit and watch these solutions. So let me fire this up. I imagine this will be like 10 minutes. I'm going to watch these solutions, then take a quick bathroom break, and then crack on with the second exercise. So I'm going to be off mic for like 5-10 minutes. So just ping in chat if you have any questions. All right, couple of minor tweaks. Number one, instead of the, let's get rid of this counter. Gonna get rid of these div.removes. Oh, there's only one. And then swap that for all. Before. So before each, we're going to have a callback function that's going to run before each of the tests. We're going to say document body inner HTML plus an empty string, and then that will get rid of the counter. It's basically just resetting on every test. And the second thing, interestingly, I use the same click event for both of these. But in the videos, he actually has it as two separate events. Just going to make a note here and ask that during office hours. This should pass. Good times. All right. Let's do that. Complete. Those onto exercise 2. So I'll just get that loaded up. Let's cancel that. Oh, that's the final answer. It's probably not a good idea. Both of these, I'm going to run npm test. It's still doing one. How do I reset the regex? Determining test suite to run. Maybe it's an option. Oh, fail. Nice. There we go. So I should be watching my exercise tests. They're passing. Nice. All right, that's set up and ready to go. I'm just going to take a break and I'll be back in around 5 minutes. So around 9:10. Cool. See you then. All right, where were we? Web dev. Let's see what the next exercise is. Be like 1 minute. Nice, short and sweet. Okay. I think I'm still using the counter here. Okay, so import render, fire event, and screen from the testing library. Test it works. Container is the div that your component has been mounted onto. Following the render method, we're passing our example component through, and that component is being appended to that container. Query select that container. Screen.debug logs the current state of DOM. Syntax highlighting. Notice the lack of cleanup functionality. The auto cleans up.
So I guess it's pretty lucky neither of us is rich, huh?
In this exercise, we're going to remove some of the boilerplate. The emoji should be pretty good guides. Alright, okay, so the first one is just a cleanup. I'm going to put that there because it's a little bit prettier than the counter. Grab the testing library React, and then we're going to grab the render function and fire event. Remove the for each because React testing library is doing it automatically. Yes, let's remove these two lines. So we'll just get rid of that. And swap React DOM.render with the render. And we don't need to pass a div, we just need a counter. Instead of creating a div and then appending it to it, I'm going to say const container equals, and now the counter should be available on the container. Makes sense? Place the next two statements. Fire event dot click button. Fire event. Expected the message content to be 1. Current count is -1. Actually, I wonder what happens if I restart the test here. Ah, it's because I put, well, actually this is failing correct. Because we're starting at 0, and then we're hitting decrement, and then we're expecting it to be 1, which is incorrect. We want to increment first, which will go to 1, and then decrement to go back to 0. Good times. All right, nice easy exercise there. Use jest.dom. Testing library also has a suite of assertions that can be installed with Jest. They're already added to this project, so you can switch from Jest's built-in assertions to more specific ones that will give you better error messages. Jest.dom. To have text content. Actually, just grab that. Oh, we're no longer using this, so let's clean that up. And then let's import to have text content. DOM or just DOM? Testing library just DOM. Ah, nice. That's weird that says just DOM's documentation. This will probably fail. Yeah, that's fine. I think it's failing because we don't need this .text content. You just actually get the message. That's much nicer. Alright, that was nice and quick. A little bit too quick. Sure there's more to come. With these working. Nice. Alright, I'm just going to sit and watch the solution videos. Just make sure I got everything. Should be like 5-10 minutes. Hey, Blackbird. Ah, no worries. Glad to have you following along. Sorry you can't watch the content, but I suppose it's an incentive to go and buy the course. Let me know if you have any questions. All right, good times. So let's avoid implementation details. It's half 9. We can hopefully squeeze in one more exercise for the end of the session. Let's see how long it's going to be. So, W this. Head over to exercise 3. Close these. let's open this. And let's get the markdown as well. One of the most important things to remember is the way it is used and avoiding implementation details. Yep. It's a little bit easier to read. You can typically same outcome using different components. The multiply function can be implemented in basically infinite ways. Oh. One of those is more clear than the other, but that's irrelevant to the point. Cool. So the React test should just care about the final result. Instead of searching for the first child, instead we're going to get all the buttons, and then I imagine name 0. Get by text 0. Name 0. So we're still using the counter. Just gonna get that back up. Why is it 0? Guessing it's just an array and it automatically names each of them based on their index. Don't know. Okay, replace these with screen queries. So we're still using the counter, which is this horrible screen here. Add screen to the import. Let's add that in. Replace these with screen queries. You can use the get by text for each of these. Get by role can work for the button too. So instead of doing query selectors, let's have a look here. Let's put it into dark mode and then search the docs for by text. Oh, this is reason. Probably not a good idea. Okay, so those methods are attached to screen. Would have thought it would be an API. If it's written in TypeScript, okay, so we want to replace these. Let's do screen. Nice. I'm gonna get by text. I want to check this actually, so let's do const buttons. That equals screen get by role button. That's console.log. See what this gives us. I think I choose the right thing there. I think I'm on the exercise test. There we go. Found multiple elements with the roller button. Here are the magic elements. There's 2 of these. If this is intentional, then use the all by variant query. Oh. So is there a get all by role? There is. Cool. So that's giving me an array, which I'm guessing is going to be similar to this. I should just be able to do the same thing. Should be able to do decrement. Ditch that. That'll freak because buttons no longer exist. Let's actually just put that back where it belongs. Cool, so that's now passing. So we're getting all the buttons. That'll store them in an array. And then we can just destructure that array and get the names for the buttons again. So for the message, got this. Let's rewrite this. So const message equals screen get by text. Can I just say current count? Let's comment that out. Okay, so it needs to be an exact match. Can't do any partial matching. That. And then we don't need a container. I think we can just render the counter. And just to check that works, this should now fail. Times. And then this should also fail. And then this should pass. Good times. All right. Extra credit. Use the user event. As it turns out, clicking the buttons is also a bit of an implementation detail. Firing a single event, they actually should be firing several other events like these. When the user clicks a button, you first have to move their mouse over the button. Also mouse down and mouse up. If we want to truly be implementation detail free, then we should probably fire all the same events too. The user event. So for this extra credit, swap out fire event for the user event, which you can get like so. Let's just grab this. I'm no longer going to use this, and then we're going to replace fire event with user event. Oh. Once you're done, look around in the code of the user. Click it. Just quickly sign in. Just to get dark mode more than anything. There we go. Oh, I've still got the... And I always forget to take that blocker down. Okay, so the user event clicks. Element. Cool. I wonder why there's a specific use case for clicking a label. The only thing I can think of clicking a label is it would focus. I imagine that's going to look for the HTML4 attribute and then focus the relevant input if one exists. I do not want to become famous, no. You need a default input case. Sure. Yeah, and quarter 2. So that actually looks to be finished. What did I learn there? Learned to replace Replace Jest boilerplate with testing library utils. What else did we replace here? To replace basic events with, so instead of it just firing a click event, I'm guessing this user event is going to mouse over, mouse down, mouse up, mouse leave, maybe. It'll probably also give it focus. Basic fire events with also replaced vague crease selectives. Yeah, I learned a bunch there actually. Looking forward to getting more familiar with this sort of stuff. It's weird because I don't have a thorough grounding in Jest. I have used Jest before, but I'm not all too familiar with the API. This feels like it'd be incredibly beneficial when you know the boilerplate, and then you can just strip it away. It's like an abstraction that I'm learning and not learning the underlying API. But maybe that'll just come in time. Everything worked as expected. It's quite a short exercise. That's all I really have. Exercise was maybe a little too short. Alright, let's quickly watch these solution videos. Oop. Why? Okay. There we go. My Streamlabs completely bottlenecked there. Which is good fun. Right, that's 5 to 10. So that's my 2 hours sort of up. And that times in pretty nicely. So just to recap what I did. We started the React testing module today. Did a couple of basic tests where we used... What did we use in the beginning? We just used React DOM and Jest to put some simple tests together. And then we started using the React testing library and some basic events. And then started moving into more sophisticated ones. What did we use? What was the last thing we used? User event. The video also mentioned testing. Oh God, I can't spell. Testing playground. Yeah, this is cool. So you can write in a bunch of HTML here, and then it'll tell you, say I want to get this label. Then it'll show me get by text email address. Then it'll give me that label. It shows me all the queries that I want to use. That's fucking sweet. I'm gonna have a play around with that tomorrow morning. However, that will do me for tonight. So thanks for following along, and I'll be back on Thursday at 8 PM to continue working on the module. Until then, see you later.